Okay, Land Registration Act 2002, Section 60. So this is the bit we go to when we're worrying about boundaries and boundaries on file plans, etc. And this is what it has to say. The boundary of a registered estate, as shown for the purposes of the register, is a general boundary unless shown as determined under this section. So we are talking about the Land Registration Act is not looking at a precise boundary, it's looking at the general boundary. We focus on the word general, and the point there will emerge as we go through it, but it's not saying exact or something of that nature. A general boundary does not determine the exact line of the boundary. So that's our first starting point into this thing, because obviously what tends to happen is that with registered land, we look at file plans, and there is a tendency for people to try and say, well, the boundary shown on the file plan, that's the end of it. Well, it's not. So Land Registry Practice Note 40, the great majority of land in England and Wales is registered with general boundaries only. As a result, it's not possible to identify the position of the legal boundary from the Register of Title and Title Plan. So that's not quite right, but because it's dealing, I'll get on to some other bits and pieces later, but that's not quite an accurate statement of the position because it's not possible to identify the exact position of the legal boundary, but it's certainly possible to identify the general position of the legal boundary. The question then is, what are the parameters? Are we accurate to within 1 meter or 2 meters or whatever? So, and there's a little case that I've mentioned there just to follow it up, Drake and Fripp, which you can have a look at.